everything?
It's tough because, I was fully addicted. I was completely powerless over alcohol and drugs. But my mother there really helped me. She'd been through a lot of it with my father. So I did get into a rehab early on, and I was very, very lucky not to slip through the cracks. I just started using heroin in the end. And, I was after I came out of rehab, was actually probably even a darker time. I took away the alcohol and drugs, and I was left, feeling pretty raw, pretty vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And, I ended up with a very sort of botched suicide attempt, a few months after being clean and sober, and ended up in the psychiatric unit.
It was all too much, was it?
Yeah, just, as I said, you take away the alcohol and drugs, and, I'm just left with myself, and, there was the wreckage of the past there with, everything that had happened. I was 21, I couldn't drive, didn't have a job, had no leaving cert, nothing, so it was a real kind of starting over again, but I just wasn't really able to handle it, so I suppose, looking back, in hindsight, I think I wanted to take my own life because I hated life, but it was actually the flip side. I actually loved life, and I wanted to do all these amazing things, but I just didn't have the power. I had no self-esteem, no self-belief, and, it was just, it was a really hard time because, I look at so many young people nowadays, and I think of our society, and I just wonder, what have we done that, a young person wants to take their own life at 19 or 21, and it's pretty sad. But that's the reason why I'm sharing my story here tonight and out, within Ireland, because, I'm responsible for those young people today, and it's important to get the message out there.
How did you get out of that corner?
I went to rehab at 21, yeah.
And did the rehab change everything for you?
The rehab was a kickstart, It was a lot of work to do after that.
Yeah.
Like I said,
like you mentioned.
Yeah, it did take a couple of years before I sort of was really comfortable. I mean, look,